want to make sure this. Get the chat going here. There we are.
Like the music.
It's happy music. And we're going to be going live. We're going to have a replay of the Area 210 podcast. That's going to be airing immediately after this episode. Got to make sure that YouTube's not canceling us, man. All right, looks good.
Oh, no. I was on time, baby. I was on time.
Christopher Leah, man. What's up, Chris? Good morning, Sam Salinas. Hey, we got a special treat for you guys today. If you stay immediately after this show ends, we have the live, or not the live, but the replay of Area 210 podcast that I did with Jeff Garcia. And you get to hear some great stuff, man, on this episode. Jeff Garcia talks about a night in New York. They got a little crazy there. What happens in New York, the nightlife of that. We're talking about Wemby. We're talking about when's he going to dominate the league. A lot of stuff in this episode. It's a good one. Morning, Matt Gomez. Here we go.
Welcome to another episode of the Alamo City Sportscast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your hosts as it helps the show grow.
Good morning, San Antonio. What's going on, South Texas? This is the Alamo City Sportscast coming at you from the west side of San Antonio. My name is Mike Jimenez. That is Joe Garcia. Joe, we have lots of football to get into today. We got power rankings being released.
A lot of stuff.
A star was born last night. Washington Commanders got themselves a quarterback, and that's why I'm wearing the LSU shirt right now, because yesterday was a battle of LSU stars. Joe Burrow going up against Jayden Daniels. We'll get into that. Speaking of quarterbacks, Josh Allen talking trash last night. Did you hear that, Joe? He was talking trash about one of his former players, his former wide receivers, who now plays for the Houston Texans. Didn't name him by name, but we know what he was talking about. We know who he was talking about.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. We're a week away from the start of the Spurs season, preseason anyway, and get some excitement going about that. We'll talk about the latest and greatest involving the Spurs. We're doing sports. We're doing pop culture. We're doing nostalgia. Thank you so much for the drinks. No, we're not sponsored by Diet Pepsi, but it helps to have a little something to drink.
That's what happens with the sponsorship money, man. Goes back into the studio for us to have stuff to drink while we're doing this. And then look at Tony Ornelas. He puts, "What's up, Holmes High School graduate?" And Joe, I forgot where you went to high school. I went to high school at West Campus. That's the same high school that our good friend Angel Gutierrez went to high school.
That's right.
At.
Devin Brown, former Spur, went over there. So very, very cool. You can be part of the show by taking part in our YouTube stream. I know we're live on Facebook and we're on Twitter as well. But YouTube is where you go to not only like and subscribe, but also to leave a comment or two, because it helps drive the direction of the show. This is the People's Podcast. We talk sports, we talk pop culture, we talk nostalgia, but this is the People's Podcast. So guide us, direct us to where you want to go. Joe, during the pop culture segment, remind me to get into the Melendres brothers movie that is on Netflix right now. It's like a mini series.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like 8 or 9 parts.
Kind of behind the scenes telling you what happened.
I'm about halfway through. Yeah. I like it so far, man.
Oh, you like that murder mystery kind of stuff. My wife watches that all the time, like the murder stuff and all that. It's like, I don't get it, man, but hey, to each his own.
The true crime stuff
is
amazing.
Exactly, man.
And look, again, the Melendres brothers, that was before O.J. Simpson. We talk about O.J. Simpson being the trial of the century back in the day in the mid to late 90s. Before that, the Melendres brothers were huge.
Oh, man.
Definitely. And Court TV became a thing. And then he had all these CSI shows because it was all about DNA.
That's when all the ratings were going crazy back then, man.
I mean, you had CSI Miami, CSI New York, SVU this, NCIS that. It was crazy. those shows are still very popular. Law and Order, the dun dun. I mean, it is very, very popular. So, you know, I like it, man. True crime is where it's at. But again, I saw that you hit the like button right there. Like it.
Alice,
the number of people who will listen to this podcast and watch this podcast and don't hit the like button pisses me off. Hit the like button for crying out loud. Do it now. We're the only local sports talk going on right now between the hours of 10 and 12.
That's it.
10 and 2, to be honest with you. Because, again, San Antonio Sports Star, Ticket 760, they go to national programming at that time. So you can listen to us or you can listen to that fossil named Jim Rome.
Yeah, nobody listens to him, man. Oh, my God. Come on.
I listened to it the other day.
It's awful, dude.
It was bad.
It's bad, man.
It was bad. Dude, even his ad reads are bad.
He needs to just retire, man. Go away, dude.
Now, it's funny because Jason Minix made fun of me a while back because he was like, dude, you got excited when you saw Jim Rome. I said, I get excited when I see Jim Rome because it's a nostalgic thing. I remember when Rome came out, late 90s, early 2000s.
Rome is burning. Remember that crap?
The whole Jim Everett thing going on. Have a take and do not suck. Dude, it was so great. Sports talk radio, early 2000s, late 90s, when you had JT the Brick. And you had the fabulous sports babe. Remember that one?
Yeah.
And then you had, Dan
the
Patrick,
Man Show?
The Man Show. All of that was so great.
They can't do that now, man.
Like Pat McAfee is who he is right now. But back in the day, that was kind of like industry standard.
Oh, yeah. That Man Show, they couldn't do that nowadays. Dude.
Yeah.
They get canceled quick.
And don't get me wrong, it gave birth to local sports talk radio, like Mike Taylor and all of that.
Well, it was the great Lyle and Hahn that started the talk radio stuff here in San Antonio.
Exactly. But, it's just you go back in time and you get influenced by certain things. Back when I was on radio, thank God I'm not on there anymore. Back in the day, I was really into Dan Le Batard. I was really into Colin Cowherd. Those were my two favorites, man. So
the great Tony Bruno.
Tony Bruno. Man. And you know what? That's when Max Kellerman was first coming out, too. You had this young guy who knew everything about boxing. He was a boxing encyclopedia. He was so good back in the day.
Yeah, man. They pushed that brother out, though, man. Max Kellerman got pushed out of the ESPN, dude.
And you have the Tony Kornheisers of the world, the Mike Lupicas, who also did they were dual threats. They did the print. They also did the radio. That was fun.
Now, what's the thing to do? Have your own XM radio, right? After you do your show and plug your podcast on the other show that you have going on, like, Screamin' A does.
Screamin' A and Shannon Sharp, who, by the way, didn't even get in trouble, right? For the whole sex scandal from a couple of weeks ago?
Well, the thing is, what he gotten in trouble with, it was live video showing him in the act. That's probably why he would have gotten canceled. It was the audio. He came out and just kind of did PR work and got in front of the bullet and said, I did it. It was a mistake.
Do I have to release some audio of loving?
Yeah, man. But the thing is, we called him out, right? Was it really a mistake? Because you got to do so many things to go live, So that was just probably a good move on his part just to get in the public eye.
Yeah.
Man, whatever, dude.
No, dude. It was funny.
Look at that, McAfee. Look at this comment from Jesse A. McAfee is overrated.
The problem with the Pat McAfee show, he is really good. I like McAfee alone. I don't like it when he's trying to bring in 10 other people in there. You listen to the show, the version that comes out on ESPN, it gets muted every 3 minutes or so where it goes dark for about 10 seconds because someone cussed, right?
That's dumb.
And it's like you want to follow along, but it's hard to follow along when there's silence 10 out of every 90 seconds that goes by.
They let him say shit, right?
Right.
They let him say that on ESPN.
There's certain words that they do allow. They allow him to say the B word.
But not the F word.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's where
he had on there Blake Shelton the other day, the country music superstar. Blake Shelton was cussing up a storm the entire time. And half the time they allowed it, the other half of the time they didn't. And then you get the reaction from the producers and whatnot, and they're all excited, and then they're all cussing up a storm. It's great for podcasting, but it's awful for broadcast network, ESPN, the four-letter network.
You know what I think ESPN is going to do? They're going to go the way of what everybody else is doing, kind of. They're going to have their own network where they show those live streams solely there. Yeah, like on ESPN+.
Noah Pettis is talking about that. Just go to the YouTube stream. But sometimes that's a little bit much, man. I'm watching TV. I have YouTube TV. I have it on there, and I like the I like the YouTube TV a little bit more, man. It just is what it is.
Look at this, man. This is true. I was thinking about that the other day. Jesse Martinez brings it up. Paul Pierce did less and got fired, but the problem with Paul Pierce is that they had the brother on video.
Yeah.
You know, if he had just been like showing something going on in the background, maybe he could have gotten away with it. But if you're in the act, they caught you in the act on the video. ESPN's like, oh, well, that's horrible. It wasn't as bad as what happened with Shay Shay. But let's be honest, they love Shay Shay over there because he brings in the ratings.
They do. Midtown Texas asking the question, do you remember the beef Sonny Melendres had with 102.7 KTFM? Dude, that's an old school name. Sonny Melendres.
He still does things though, man.
I know. I don't even know how old he is.
He's up there, dude.
Sonny Melendres. I met him a long time ago. And it's funny because
he's a great guy.
My friends have this thing where back in the day, hasn't been anytime recently, where if I'm like at a public place, whether it be a concert or a sporting event, and I'm taking a whiz next to somebody who's famous, they'll call it out, and it's the most uncomfortable thing. And it's always my friend Lewis who did that back in the day. You know, one day we were out at a Spurs game, and I'm taking a piss at the trough. By the way, in the year 2024, there should not be a trough anymore in men's bathrooms, man. Right? But they do exist. You get to piss on your feet if you want to. And I remember somebody just screaming at me. I think it was my friend Lewis who was like, Jimenez, you're pissing next to Sonny Melendres. I'll never forget that. And then I had other friends who yelled at me when we were at MGM Grand for a Manny Pacquiao fight. No, it wasn't Manny Pacquiao. It was a Sugar Shane Mosley. Anyway, I'm taking a piss next to Gary Payton.
No,
the glove,
God, man.
And my friends are screaming, Jimenez, you're screaming, you're pissing next to Gary Payton. It's like, why do I want to know this? So I could go like, look a little bit over to the left.
Oh, man.
That's funny.
That's gross, bro.
So, yeah. So, Sonny Melendres, I have flashbacks there of it all.
You're pissing next to Sonny Melendres.
Like, why do I care? Why do I care? I heard Sonny Melendres' voice when I was driving through Arizona back in the 90s. Like, Sonny Melendres, I guess, was being syndicated for a while there. And I just remember hearing his voice.
He had a great voice, by the way. It was like Casey Kasem.
Dude, remember? That's exactly where I was going to go. Casey Kasem, Rick Dees.
Yeah. They had that voice of an angel, man.
You know, Ernie Zuniga from formerly of KBB, Maximum Sports, and he was also the lead anchor for their morning show
for many years.
He would always play this audio of him writing a letter to Dick Clark. And Dick Clark reading his letter. It was a dedication to a girlfriend that Ernie Zuniga had back in the day. And he had it audio taped. It was so funny. It would be like, this message goes out to whoever from Ernie. Ernie says he loves you and wants you to know that he's thinking of you all the time. I'm Casey Kasem. That's the best Casey Kasem voice I could do.
Yeah.
But Casey Kasem was good, dude.
He was excellent, man.
He had that big blonde bimbo of a wife for a good while there.
You know, they used to do the replays. I forgot on what station it was. I don't know if it was like 101 or whatever. But I remember one night, it was like a Friday night or Saturday night. I was in the pool and the wife and kids were there with me too. We're doing some night swimming and they had that plane in the background. I'm like, what is this? Is this Casey Kasem? And they're like, yeah, they do the replays over every now and then. I was like, hey, that's nostalgia, you know?
Yeah.
I was out there having a good time listening to it, man.
Dude, I saw this meme yesterday that made me cry.
Oh,
it made me laugh, but I wasn't crying. But it said something to the effect of when you turn on the classic rock station, expecting to hear Led Zeppelin, but instead they're playing Weezer. And it had that gif of Matt Damon from what's that war movie he was in with Tom Hanks, Saving Private Ryan, where he's like he fast forwards, he goes from a young man to being an old man. It's so funny.
Look at this one, man. Sam Salinas. I remember Sonny Melendres was the MC at the Dome opening celebration. He was in a white tux.
That does sound like him, the white tux.
But man, he had that fro down to a T, man. It was like the best fro in town, man.
Dude, Sonny Melendres' fro. I mean,
legendary, dude.
What ethnicity was he?
I don't know, man, but he had that fro going on, dude.
Sonny Melendres. I'm going to look up some old photos of Sonny. So those of you know who we're talking about. I guess this is more recent, but Sonny Melendres back in the day, man, he was a thing. He was kind of like our own Pat Sajak. He was our super fan. You know,
he had super fans, dude. He was like our celebrity, you know.
Sonny Melendres, man.
He did like the 105.3, right? For a while too, the morning show.
The Magic 105.3, dude. Here's an article from 2023 San Antonio Express News saying Sonny Melendres still on the air at 77. That was a year ago. So he's 78 now. That's amazing. Is he too old for radio?
No.
Because
he might be too old for coaching, but we're not going to get into that.
Dude, I was setting myself up for that joke, by the way, and you ripped it from me, man.
I know how you are. We're not going to get into that today. Not today.
Oh, that's
not
awesome.
Today, Satan. We're not doing that.
That's awesome. So we're going to get into last night's game. A star was born last night, and his name is Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels. So last night, if you had asked me the question, and we talked about this beforehand, you have the Bengals come into this game 0-2. They had lost a heartbreaker the week before to the Kansas City Chiefs. Controversial call. Yes, it was a pass interference, but still you don't want to hear that or see that call being made. The Chiefs go on to win that game. No way in the world they're going to go 0-3, right? They've got Joe Burrow. They were just in the Super Bowl a few years ago. You got to think that backs against the wall, no different than the Ravens against the Cowboys. Backs against the wall. Did you know the stat right now that since the NFL turned to a 17-game season, no 0-3 team has ever made the playoffs? I know it's only been a few years, but no team has gone 0-3 to make the playoffs that season. So that being said, last night's game was built up as Tiger versus Tiger. Why I'm wearing the shirt, right? The LSU shirt. It was Joe Burrow against Jaden Daniels.
Weren't they former Heisman?
Former Heisman Trophy winners playing against each other from the same school. Joe Burrow right now is getting a lot of grief, and I don't understand it, man. They put up 33 points. What more do you want from him?
It's not the offense that's the problem with the Bengals, man.
Yeah, he played well. And it wasn't junk stats like Dak Prescott the other day. He was playing. He was balling out. He did okay. But Jayden Daniels is an interesting guy because you take a look at where he's coming from right now. He was the number 2 overall pick in the NFL draft this past season, and a lot of people did not believe in him. And I posted on Twitter yesterday at MJ Acquired Taste that have you noticed that the number 2 overall picks have been outplaying the number 1 overall picks? Jayden Daniels is outplaying Caleb Williams. You have CJ Stroud outplaying Bryce Young. Bryce Young now benched. Dude, Andy Dalton went in there and won a game for the Carolina Panthers. Like, no big deal. But Jayden Daniels was overlooked for a couple of reasons. The number 1 reason was his size. He's 6'3". That's the height that you want as a quarterback. But he's a $185.
Yeah. And
they kind of figure, well, he's going to be beaten up. There was that last play down the stretch, the nail in the coffin, that touchdown pass to seal the deal, 35-yard touchdown pass. Jayden Daniels got rocked, and he threw the perfect pass to the end zone. No other player could have caught it.
I saw that, man.
Dude, foot down, knee down, touchdown, game over. That was the most impressive throw I've seen all week, and it was getting rocked.
Yeah.
Now, you don't want to see a quarterback get done like that because the Commanders did have RG3 back in the day who got whacked and got knocked out of the league and almost felt like he was going to die out there. But Jayden Daniels right now is such a talented guy, and I like the fact that you have to bring up, well, why is he so talented? The number 1 reason why he's talented, Joe, I'll give you several reasons.
Several, okay.
One is you take a look at his pedigree in college. LSU produces good quarterbacks. I mean, if they've produced Joe Burrow and Jayden Daniels in the last 5 years, you got to think that that's a place to go, right? That's number 1. Number 2, remember when Trey Lance was drafted by the Niners?
Yeah.
Number 3 overall. They had to move up to go get him. The argument against Trey Lance was the fact that he played for a low-level school, wasn't even a D1 school, and he also only played like 16 games. I'm taking a look right now at the stats of Jayden Daniels in college. Look how many games he played in college. He played for 2 schools. He played for Arizona State. He played for LSU. He started 29 games with Arizona State and 26 games with LSU. Grand total, the dude played 55 games in college.
Yeah.
55 games. He threw 89 touchdown passes in college. The guy has a ton of experience out there. And you're seeing these players, whether they be Caleb Williams or they be Trey Lance, or they be all these up and coming quarterbacks that are projected to be very, very good.
Look at this blast from the past, Mario Cavazos. Randall Cunningham was a stick well, man. He was.
Just don't get blasted, man.
Oh, this is great, man. Right here, I like this comment, Mike. Check this one out. Noah Bettis, the last team to make the playoffs down 0-3 were the Texans in 2018. Bengals season is over.
Well, yeah, the Texans back in 2018, but since it's gone to a 17-game season, it hasn't happened. But think about that, Joe. 55 games. How do you look at this guy and think to yourself, well, we believe in him, but man, we need a bigger sample size. What bigger sample size do you need other than the fact that he played 55 games in college?
Yeah, he's durable, man.
So, I mean, Caleb Williams played 37. And Caleb Williams was number 1 overall. And Caleb Williams, very deserving player. But Jayden Daniels, 18 more games. Do you think all those reps, all those road games prepared him for this? Because right now, he is, yes, a rookie. But there are players that are playing right now in the NFL who've been around for 1 or 2 seasons, who've been starting at quarterback, who don't have the reps that this guy has. That's why I'm a big believer in Jayden Daniels. Not because he's an LSU guy. It's not because of all that. It's because of the fact that he has reps under his belt.
He's got the pedigree.
And who does he have as his offensive coordinator? Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, and remember who is his offensive coordinator or the defensive coordinator?
Well, Dan Quinn is now the head coach over there.
Yeah.
So who's I don't know who the coordinator is.
No, but I'm saying you have former Cowboy, right? You have Dan Quinn.
Right. So, so Dan Quinn goes over there as head coach, right? Yeah. So Dan Quinn could have been the coach of the Cowboys, and maybe
he's already old, bro, though. Come on.
But, he has experience, and it's just one of those things. But the one of the things he does is he hires Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury, San Antonio area, born in San Antonio, kind of raised in New Braunfels. This is a guy who seems like he's old. He got such a young start in the league, and a lot of people were pissed off that he got a head coaching gig as early as he did, right? Going out of Texas Tech. He's only 45 years old. He identifies with these players, but you take a look at who he has played with. Johnny Manziel, he helped coach. He helped Case Keenum back in the day when Keenum was throwing for a lot of yards.
Look at Chris Leha.
Caleb Williams. Patrick Mahomes.
Look at Christopher Leha. Caleb Williams is 2 packs of ass. Oh,
dude. Think about that, dude. When you develop Case Keenum, Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield, Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, Caleb Williams, do you think that Jayden Daniels with 55 games and a Heisman Trophy under his belt at LSU is going to do well over there? Oh, and by the way, you give him weapons. Terry McLaurin out there is catching passes. This is a very good situation that the Commanders have in. By the way, Commanders 2-1, first place in the NFC East right now. Remember I talked about the fact that I thought going into last week
they were going to be that team?
That all 4 teams were going to lose? 3 of the 4 teams in the NFC East won this past weekend. The only team that didn't
Cowboys
was the Dallas Cowboys.
But didn't we say even before the season started that you got to watch out with this Commanders team? They could be sneaky good.
They could be sneaky good because of Jayden Daniels.
Yeah.
Can he develop? Austin Eckler is on that roster. Brian Robinson Jr. is on that team. Scary Terry, 4 receptions, 100 yards, and a touchdown. Dude, this is a interesting team. Now, am I going to say that the Commanders are going to go 11-6 and win the division? I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is I like their chances more than Dallas's. And in fact, watching the Eagles play the Saints, I wasn't impressed with the Eagles. The Eagles and Saints both played like ass on Sunday. Neither team deserved to win that game.
Look at Coach Gio. Saints are overrated.
They might be. They're 2-1 though. They might be.
Oh, what's up, Coach Gio? Man, he's over there with Rudy Campos and all them over there doing their thing with Sweep the League. Make sure you go and give them a shout out, man, and go and subscribe to their live stream that they got going on.
Saints were 9-8 last season, and their defense is legit, dude. When you hold Saquon Barkley and those guys down to 15 points, you should win that game, and they didn't win it. The Eagles defense played just as well.
You know what's funny to me, man? We had this doubleheader last night, right?
Yeah.
And they showed the free game. on ABC, right? They're like, oh, we're going to throw the Commanders and Bengals. That was actually a very good game.
Good game.
The one that's on the paid television, right? The 4-letter network, ESPN.
Yeah.
You get the Jaguars and the Bills. What a stink show that was, man.
Yeah.
The coach got fired at halftime, bro. How do you get fired at halftime, man?
That's funny.
They didn't even let the brother finish the game. They said, you know what, man?
Give him the bus. Give him the bus.
Leave the clipboard there. You're done.
Josh Allen yesterday, 23 for 30, 263, 4 touchdown passes, no interceptions. By the way, we didn't get into Jayden Daniels' stats real fast before we move on. Jayden Daniels had more touchdowns than he had incomplete passes last night, Joe. The highest passing completion percentage for a rookie in NFL history, beating a record that once belonged to Dak Prescott. 21 for 23, 254, 2 touchdowns, rushed for 39, including a touchdown on the ground. Austin Eckler, Brian Robinson Jr. also scored on the ground as well. The first touchdown that Jaden Daniels threw in the NFL was to an offensive lineman named Trent Scott. I did not know that there's a name for that. When you throw a touchdown pass to an offensive lineman, do you know what it's called, Joe?
What is it, man?
You know, you've heard of a pick six, right?
I've heard of the pick six.
It's called a thick six. I've never heard of that.
Demon Mike come making an appearance early, man.
I didn't make the rules on that. That's what I heard.
Wow, Mike.
That's what I heard.
Starting early today on Demon Time, bro.
But Josh Allen going off and just destroying the Jaguars. Let's go ahead and call Trevor Lawrence what he is. Trevor Lawrence is a $55 million a year guy, but the guy is a bust. Absolute bust. The Jaguars organization sucks. Trevor Lawrence, just move on from him. I'm done with him. But Josh Allen played so well yesterday. But what was funny was that after the game, after they beat up on the Jaguars 47-10, and you cannot tell me that there's a better team right now in the NFL than the Bills. The Bills are the best team in the NFL right now.
They looking like a playoff bound, and not only playoff bound, but Super Bowl bound.
They look
team.
Super Bowl bound. Dude, the Chiefs look beaten up. The Chiefs are getting bailed out by the refs.
Thick six. That's going to be a thing now, dude.
All right. Look at how many touchdown passes Josh Allen has thrown this year. 7. How many interceptions? 0. What was the problem with Josh Allen? Why did people give crap to Josh Allen?
Turnovers.
Fumbles the ball out. Throws these weird throws. Gets picked off. He's cleaned it up so far, Joe. Is this a new and improved Josh Allen? And on top of that,
no,
the guy was talking smack after the game with reporters saying, man, it's so great right now the way that we're playing. You know, it's because we don't have, you know, people demanding the ball. We don't have people bringing us down and all this stuff. He's talking about Stephon Diggs, who's now with the Houston Texans.
He's taking a dig at Diggs.
He is. He was there going, oh, you know, we're you know, we don't have anybody who's just worried about their own stats.
So what's he saying? He was a cancer in the locker room?
That's exactly what he's saying. That's exactly what he's saying.
He said, good riddance. Good riddance.
Dude.
The problem with the Bills.
That's ballsy to come out.
He's saying the problem with the Bills was Stephon Diggs.
That's what he's saying.
Wow.
He's basically saying that you had a cancer in the locker room who cared only about his stats, who demanded the ball. And you can't look at anybody else and say, well, he's probably talking about Devin Singletary. No, he's not. He's talking about Stephon Diggs.
Do you see this? Jesse A just put this in the chat. Brett Favre said he's diagnosed with Parkinson's.
Good. Good. He's a jackass.
Oh,
he belongs in jail.
My God. Look at this.
That's like saying Diddy's diagnosed with Parkinson's. Good.
The diddler. Look, while Mike is loving the Commanders, get him a Redskin jersey.
Let's look at the Brett Favre stuff, man. If that is true, because you know what, this is according to Process. Jonathan Jones, who's a reporter for NFL on CBS, says Pro Football Hall of Fame quarterback Brett Favre, speaking now at the congressional hearing on welfare, misspending, and reform, says he has been recently diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. He is 54 years old. Good.
Jeez, bro.
This is a guy who stole millions of dollars from poor people.
From a nonprofit or something.
From a nonprofit, right? To benefit his alma mater and benefit his daughter's sports team.
Wow, man.
The guy stole millions of dollars. I'm not going to say allegedly. There's paper trail, 60 Minutes stories about it.
But his thing is, I paid it back.
He stole money from poor people.
He didn't pay it back until he got caught.
He paid it back when he got caught.
Yep.
F him. Good.
There's a reason why he's not shown on the sidelines of NFL games or be asked to be in the booth or any of that stuff anymore.
Right.
He got done, found out.
Yeah.
You know?
All I see him in is commercials for Wrangler jeans, right? That's basically it. Dude. That's the last I saw of him. But the guy's scum. He's absolute scum. Brett Favre is absolute scum. And I don't care if bad things happen to bad people.
Chris Leah. It's the same thing I was thinking. I know Chris Leah's on the job site laughing his ass off somewhere, man. Oh, God, dude.
Do you know what that reminded me of? Is when Donald, I have the photo, the photo of Donald Glover saying, go on my screen.
Gosh, bro, let's see.
When Donald Glover, a.k.a. Childish Gambino, goes, good.
He's like, good. He's been diagnosed with Parkinson's. Good. Jeez, man.
Sorry about that, man.
Good. That's what Tornado Ellis is saying.
Oh, my goodness. So Brett Favre, whatever.
And what happens when he dies? You're gonna say rest in piss. You know, you don't give a damn about him, dude.
Dude,
damn.
I mean, some people are jackasses. Brett Favre's one of them.
Jeez, man.
He is. Who's a bigger jackass? Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers? What is it about being quarterback of the Green Bay Packers that makes you just an absolute dick?
Aaron Rodgers has been an ass everywhere he's been. You know, it doesn't matter, dude. He's not best friends with Pat McAfee anymore. He don't get invited on the show no more.
Oh, I know.
After a debacle.
All right, let's go to NFL Power Rankings. Who do we want to show this time? Do you want to watch ESPN? Do you want to watch
we did
YouTube?
USA Today.
No, we did YouTube. Yesterday was
the
week one.
Previous week. We did let's do ESPN.
And we have NBC and CBS and Sports Illustrated.
You know, we
also.
haven't given any love to NBC. Let's do them.
All right. So this is according to ESPN. NBC Sports, rather. They have as the worst team in the NFL the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, because as you mentioned, Doug Peterson might not be flying back with the team. That's crazy. Number 31 at 0-3, the Tennessee Titans. The Raiders at 1-2. The Panthers at 1-2. Patriots at 1-2. Bears at 1-2. Dolphins, Browns, Giants. They have the Dallas Cowboys ranked number 23. And it says the reason is that, are you seriously telling me that they couldn't pursue Derrick Henry? So I was listening to Get Up this morning on ESPN.
Yeah.
They were saying that the money being used as bonus money for Trey Lance and for Dak Prescott, when they could have just re-signed Dak Prescott earlier in the offseason.
Exactly what I said.
The $5 million roster bonus for that they could have saved, and the $5 million roster bonus that they had on Trey Lance could have been used to have gotten Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, exactly what I had just said yesterday when we were talking with our boy John Dyer. I said if the Cowboys had gotten that deal done early instead of after the fact with both Dak and with CD Lamb, they could have had that cohesiveness going into, training camp. They could have formed that chemistry already. They would have been happy. The squad would have been in a great place, and they would have gotten Derrick Henry for cheap. And he was he's 30-something years old, 30 years old?
Yeah.
He still got some tread on the tire. He looked great.
He's looking good right now.
He looked great, man. You could have just kept him out there as well.
Better than what they've got now.
Oh, man. What they have right now ain't it. Freaking Zeke, bro. Are you kidding me?
Dude, Zeke is trash. He's old. Cowboys, Giants, number 23 and 24. They play each other Thursday night. I was under the impression, because of something that I read on ESPN yesterday, that it was going to be in Dallas this week. It's actually going to be in New York. New York, I mean, usually the team that has to go on the road on a short week struggles. That's going to be the Cowboys this Thursday. 22 in the power rankings, according to Pro Football Talk on NBC Sports. The Bengals at 0-3. So they have the Bengals at 0-3 above the Cowboys.
That's ridiculous, dude. How can a winless team be above the Cowboys?
Well, it's because they almost beat Kansas City.
Well, the Cowboys almost won this other game against the Ravens. That doesn't count.
They didn't almost win. They got their ass handed to them.
Yeah, exactly.
They got their ass handed to them, and then the score got close.
But at the end of the day, we look at that score. It's like they almost won. Same thing with the Bengals. They almost won.
It was 28-6 with 12 minutes to go in the game. But
the Cowboys got more wins than the Bengals.
So, number 21, the Broncos, who beat the living crap out of the Buccaneers. Number 20, they have the Colts. 19, the Chargers, who are 2-1, by the way. Number 18, the Rams. 17, the Cardinals. 16, the Seahawks. The Seahawks are 3-0, and they have them ranked number 16.
Who would have saw that coming, right? No one.
Right.
If you would have said the Seahawks would be undefeated, I mean, no one saw that, dude.
So who have the Seahawks beaten? Okay, now I know it's a Geno Smith-led team. They beat the Patriots. They beat the Dolphins. They beat the Broncos.
The Dolphins are terrible right now.
Yeah, and the Broncos were terrible when they first started. You know, it's one of those things. They're beating the teams that they should be beating, but right now they've got a gauntlet. They're going to play the Lions and the Niners and the Bills in the next 5 weeks.
That's a tough schedule.
Yeah, they're going to come back. They're going to come back down to earth. Number 15, the Commanders. All right.
But the Commanders are no slouch team, man. They could actually be a little scary there.
Number 14, the 1-2 Baltimore Ravens, saying that the Ravens should propose this rule change in March, reduce each game to 45 minutes. That's funny. Falcons at 13. 12, they have the Jets. 11, they have the Niners at 1-2. I mean, hey, you lose 2 games. You lose 2 out of 3. You shouldn't be in the top 10. At number 10, they've got the Saints. The Saints going on the road to take on the Falcons.
Oh, God, look at this. This is what I'm afraid of. Look at Sam Salinas' comment. Nah, he goes, the New York Giants, they're so bad the Cowboys will look like Super Bowl contenders this week, and the talk all week will be about their resurgence until we get our asses handed to us again. But this is the thing. The Cowboys and the way they've been playing right now and the way that secondary and that defense looks, wouldn't surprise me the Giants upset the Cowboys. And then what's going to happen? McCarthy, is he going to get the axe?
Do you know who I think is going to be the biggest rusher for the Giants this upcoming week? Daniel Jones.
Oh, Lord, dude.
Daniel Jones, that white boy can run. That white boy can run. Top 10, Saints. Number 9, the Texans, according to NBC Sports. 8, the Buccaneers. They're saying that it was a fluke that they lost. Number 9 with the Texans are saying that Joe Mixon not playing for the Texans really ruined the offense, so I'll give them credit for that. Number 7, they have the 3-0 Minnesota Vikings. Number 6, the Green Bay Packers. Number 5, the Eagles. Number 4, the Steelers. Wow. Who would have thought the Steelers would be 3-0? And then they have the Lions at 3, the Chiefs at 2, and at number 1, the Buffalo Bills.
Look at this comment here by Sith. He says, if the Cowboys lose, take me out back like old Yeller. You know, Jerry Jones isn't going to get rid of anybody right now.
No.
If the Cowboys, in fact, do lose against the Giants, you know the memes are going to be coming. The Cowboys are now out of playoff contention. You know, but the thing is, Jerry, he's not going to get rid of Mike McCarthy. He's going to ride or die with him. He'll probably get rid of him if the Cowboys have a losing season after the season, the last game. Say, announce it. He's gone. And you know who's waiting in the wings? Bill Belichick.
So a couple of things about that. Bill Belichick has been saying nice things about the Cowboys.
I saw that. Remember I showed you.
Do you know what he's doing? He's taking off the loafer, reaching across the table, under the table, and is playing footsies with Jerry Jones. They're playing footsies.
He's saying, hey, old Bill's ready to get back on the horse.
You know, it's kind of like saying, you know, I'm just saying that if you are single, you know, down the road, you know, look me up.
Yeah, and Bill's into young chicks, man.
So's Jerry. Yeah. You know, collectively they're 160 years old, but man, collectively their girlfriends are like 50.
Yeah, man. Times 2 divided by 2, 50.
Yeah. How many illegitimate kids do you think those two have combined?
Oh man,
5.
They got some out there, man. I bet you Jerry Jones still has some that ain't come out of the woodwork yet.
Oh, I know, man. I know. But did you see Dak Prescott leaving the tunnel yesterday or Sunday?
Oh,
and what he screamed at the he say like,
get off.
If you want to get off now, just get off.
Like, come on, Dak. The problem isn't really the Cowboys' offense per se. It's the defense, man. That defense is just horrid, man. And they knew that. The Cowboys knew that they needed to address that issue with their defense, and they did nothing in the offseason. While other teams were busy making moves, Cowboys did nothing.
Let's see this video right here of Dak Prescott. What's he screaming? Jump off if you want, man. Jump off if you want. That is $60 million walking into the locker room right there. Okay, so we talked about how yesterday was not an issue for Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow did his thing, right? Led the team to 33 points. I don't want Cowboy fans to look at the fact that they got within 3 points or 5 points or whatever it was of the Ravens and think that they almost won. They didn't almost win. They were getting their asses handed to them 28-6. 3 minutes into the fourth quarter, they were down 28-6. Yes, they couldn't stop the run. That's part of it. But Dak played like trash.
Look at Tony Ornelas is so upset. If the Cowboys lose this week, stop talking about them on the show. Talk about Texans and Mike Saints.
We're waving the white flag already, baby.
If that happens, man, I might have to just say, you know what? On Mondays, I ain't wearing my Cowboy blue no more. I'm done with them. It's going to be Texans from here on out, baby. I'm all in.
So people were calling me a troll. They were saying I was clickbaiting. What am I clickbaiting? I don't have any articles. What clickbait do I have? When I mentioned the fact that Jayden Daniels, the next 4 seasons, will make $50.6 million less.
That's a lot of coin
than Dak Prescott. That's
a lot of coin, compared to what Daniels is making in Dak.
Yeah, Daniels is making $4 million or so, 9.6 million. 9.6 million. So it's $50.4 million less. You multiply that by 4 years. Jaden Daniels is going to make $201 million less than Dak Prescott. Damn. And what are the Commanders going to be able to do? Go build a team around him
because they got money.
They got money. Maybe get some draft capital along the way. That's not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all, man. Look at what Sam Celine is saying again, Mike. You're saying that what you're saying because if it's Dak and the Cowboys, anyone else. And any other team, and the talk would have been the comeback that almost was. If the
100% disagree.
If the Cowboys would have won this game, that's all they would have been talking about. The Cowboys made a miraculous comeback.
It would have been a miraculous comeback. But you shouldn't have to ask for a miracle at home.
Yeah,
you shouldn't have to ask for a miracle.
Let the other team run you out the building, dude.
Dude, that game at 28-6 with 12 minutes to go in the game. What letter grade would you have given the Cowboys?
Oh, no doubt it would have been an F.
Right. So we're going to focus on the fact that they almost made a comeback because they got a fluke onside kick and the fact that the Ravens started playing prevent defense.
Well, the thing is, it's more the Ravens, a testament to the Ravens because they've shown that even though the Ravens team is good and they can, get out and get leads, they give up those leads, man. There's something about this Ravens team that they just don't have that killer instinct in them, man.
Yeah. Handle the Fist says every quarterback play will look to outplay Dak to show that they should get paid too. Who said that? Redbird Junkies. Damn it. The Ravens just scored again and it's Tuesday. Oh, that is funny.
God, man.
I'm a big fan of Scooter Magruder, by the way. I don't know if you've seen that. If you follow him on social media, but he's hysterical as the pissed off Cowboy fan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
I've seen him, man. Dak.
Both are glorified scrubs. You talk about Tony Romo and Dak Prescott.
Counties.
Who was the better quarterback between the two, Dak Prescott or Tony Romo? Because I would say prime Tony Romo was better than prime Dak Prescott.
Man, nobody could throw that ball like Tony Romo on the run, bro. He was money.
Romo was fun to watch.
But Romo in the pocket, basura, dude.
Dude, Romo literally had no one. Who was Romo's best wide receiver? Dez Bryant.
Yeah, and then he had and there was what is the other receiver they used to have?
Sam Hurd.
No, Owens
from Brack.
Owens. T.O. That's my quarterback. Remember him crying? And then you remember before his hands gave out on him, he was over there catching the ball, getting touchdowns, going there and getting the popcorn, throwing it in his face and everything.
T.O. was fun, though.
He was fun, but then he couldn't catch the ball worth the damn anymore, dude. Even with the sticky gloves, the ball would just bounce off his hands.
Okay, let's say that the wheels fall off for the Cowboys, right? The wheels completely fall off. And let's say that they go 4-13, Joe.
Yeah.
They have a top 10 pick. Quinn Ewers is sitting right there.
You got to pull the trigger, man.
Dude, but they just signed Dak to a 4-year deal,
Hey,
$240 million.
You wouldn't want Ewers just sitting there, absorbing, looking at all this information, downloading.
Shadur Sanders or something like that.
Yeah, just there, just sitting down on the bench, absorbing the knowledge, looking to see, hey, man, this is what I got to do to get to that next level. Looking at downloading the data, and then when Dak gets injured, it's going to be like, it's my time to shine.
Look at this. Right on time. CBS Sports 12 minutes ago posted its mock draft for 2025 already. 4 weeks or 3 weeks into the NFL season. They have the number 1 overall pick being Michael Williams, an edge from Georgia, going to the Carolina Panthers. Travis Hunter, dude, what position are you going to play? Quarterback, cornerback, wide receiver? They have him going number 2 overall to the Broncos. Cam Ward, correct me if I'm wrong, but Cam Ward is from San Antonio. He played at UIW.
Yeah.
Or at least he's not from San Antonio, but he played at UIW. They have him going number 3, quarterback of Miami. I'm looking for the Cowboys. Where are we at, Cowboys? They have a Missouri star wide receiver, Luther Burden III, going to the Commanders. Quinn Ewers, number 7 overall pick, according to CBS Sports, going to the Las Vegas Raiders.
No, that's basura, dude.
They have Shadur Sanders, quarterback of Colorado, going number 9 overall to the LA Rams. And the quarterback's going to move up, right? If you want a quarterback, you got to pay. Dallas Cowboys. Where are you at, fools? Where are you at? They have my Saints going after Jalen Walker, linebacker from Georgia. Do the Cowboys have a first-round draft pick? There it is. Trey Harris, wide receiver, Ole Miss. Does that excite you, Joe? Going after a star wide receiver to complement CeeDee Lamb.
No, man. You need to go after somebody on the defensive end already. I know Jerry Jones falls in love with these receivers. Yeah. He needs to stop, man. Somebody needs to test. You know what, Jerry? Go on the yacht, man.
They have Isaiah Bond, the star receiver now for the Longhorns.
You know what the Cowboys need to do?
First round.
They need to go ahead and just give up some picks or something, man, or trade or do whatever they got to do to get some people, man, because it ain't going to happen in the offseason. They ain't going to go after nobody. They ain't got no money, and Cowboy fan, we're going to be in for another 28 years of disappointment, Mike?
Yep.
It's awful, dude.
They have 5 quarterbacks going in the first round. Carson Beck being the last one taken off the board at 23 to the Jets. Cowboys got to do something.
They ain't going to do nothing, dude. Jerry ain't going to do nothing.
When is Jerry Jones going to hang it up, man? Jerry Jones is what, 83?
He's up there, man. He's looking
81.
bad, dude. Look like the Grim Reaper is already knocking on the door, man. Doesn't he look like the Crypt Keeper, kind of? Remember that from Tales from the Crypt?
Dude, that laugh, my sister Alice could do that laugh back in the day.
Oh, God.
It's a hysterical laugh.
It is. The guy that did the voice of the Crypt Keeper, he was married to that actress that came out on Seventh Heaven. I don't know if you remember that show. The blonde.
Yeah.
She was the mom of the show. The Crypt Keeper was actually the voice of the Crypt Keeper. The guy that did that was married to her.
I'm showing the photos of Tales from the
God,
Crypt.
that's Jerry man.
Jones.
That's Jerry Jones, man. The Reaper's knocking on Jerry's door, man.
So I keep seeing online questions about Travis Kelce. Asking the question, is he washed? Bad 3-game stretch, or is he washed?
Oh, man.
Here's what he's done the first 3 games of the season. Opening game, 3 receptions, 34 yards.
I think he's washed, dude.
1 reception for 5 against the Bengals, 4 receptions for 30. Collectively, 69 yards on 8 receptions, 0 touchdowns. The dude is on pace for under 500 yards this year.
He kind of looks washed to me. It looks like right now, like his heart's not in it, man. Like he doesn't care. He got that new podcast deal with Amazon, right?
Yeah,
Him
he
and his brother
Jason. Yeah.
Maybe he's thinking, you know what?
There's more money over
There's
there.
more money there. I'm not getting beat up every week, And you know what? Maybe he's getting a little sniff of what it's like to be retired because he's looking at his brother having a great time, earning money, doing things, going and being an analyst on the NFL on Mondays.
Travis Kelce's contract right now, he makes $14 million per year. He makes more doing this podcast,
bro,
than he does doing football.
Why is he even playing anymore, man?
Jesse A coming out to us on our YouTube stream saying Travis is winning on and off the field. He is.
Yeah. I think there might be something to miss, though, because you haven't really seen pictures of him and Taylor together anymore.
Oh, no, they were at the U.S. Open in New York.
Oh, that was a while back, though.
Well, that was like about a few weeks ago.
Hey, man, a lot of things can happen in Hollywood in a matter of a week.
Nah,
come on, Mike.
She was at the game last week.
No, she was not.
Not this past Sunday. She was at the first two games.
Yeah, but she wasn't at this last one, and
she has concerts this week, dude.
He was crying there on the bench. I miss you, Taylor.
She has concerts. She's going to New Orleans in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, she's a working woman, man. She's a billionaire,
dude. And you know what? I like all the people out there who are like, she's not that hot. My friend Anthony, my friend Anthony said it best a while back. He was saying that if you had Taylor Swift on your arm at a bar or a restaurant or at a house party, everyone would be looking. And not Taylor Swift like the pop star, just her in general. Everyone would be looking. She's all right.
Look at
more
that.
Than I.
Sam Salinas, wait, isn't today the day they're supposed to announce their
September 24th? That was the script, right?
Yeah.
There was a PR firm in Los Angeles about 3 or 4 weeks ago who predicted saying that this was going to be the script.
Arguing about Taylor Swift. Oh, you know what? I do want to give a happy birthday shout out to the wife, man. Today's her birthday.
Very nice.
So, happy birthday to my wife.
I'm not going to ask how many years.
She's getting up there in years, man. Get some mileage on there.
The dreams of congratulations, by the way, to her. By the way,
yeah, thanks.
It's all another time around the sun.
Another successful trip around the sun.
So UTSA is staying put. They made an announcement yesterday that UTSA is staying in the American Conference, will not be going to the Pac-12. Speculation out there that the Pac-12 was not going to pay for UTSA to come over.
Oh, no. I know exactly what happened.
Tell me, what was it?
No, bro. This is what happened. So, talking with some people on I can't say names, but
right.
Talking with people who in the know, right? Some media people. And this is what they were saying to me. They said that the Pac-12, UTSA was using the Pac-12 as a bargaining chip.
Okay.
As well as some of the other schools. And it was all because of the TV deal money. They wanted a better slice of the pie. Or we're going to go to the Pac-12, So what happened? That TV money came in. And now all these schools are like, no, we're staying put now.
Right.
We got our bag, so we're going to stay where we're at.
Well, there's more consistency in knowing what's in the American Conference.
I mean, it's a tactic as old as time, dude. Can you be mad at them for wanting to get their slice of the pie? Absolutely not.
Well, the problem is that you have with UTSA is that no matter what move you make, stay in the American, go to the Pac-12, it's a lateral move. The move that UTSA needs to eventually make is into a power conference, one of the big conferences out there.
Yeah.
And the one that makes the most sense is the Big 12. Got to keep that dream alive. If the Big 12 wants to expand even more, got to keep that dream alive. The Pac-12 won't cut it because, dude, I mean, Pac-12 is not the same as they are now, right? We got a super chat coming in. 20 bones.
20 bones.
Coming in from Chris Leha. What's he want to talk about?
Here we go. Let's go ahead and put it up there.
Oh, saying happy born day, Mrs. OG Garcia.
Man, thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. And I appreciate you all giving some good comments here about the wife and wishing her a happy birthday. We got to take her somewhere nice.
That's a margarita for her, baby.
Yeah, like that little kid that comes out on the social media, that little girl. They asked her, what do you want? I want a margarita.
That's funny.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. Appreciate it, man. Says happy birthday to the wife.
Well, speaking of Leha, let's show him and his company some love. MCS General Contracting.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
That Diamond Heart Concrete.
MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business. Honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks,
Reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show.
Man, I can't express how good of a job they did when they came to my home. Cannot
did it right the first time.
Did it right the first time. No complaints, man. No complaints. I spend money on things that I like and some things that I don't need, but I needed that done to my house. They did a sidewalk. They extended the landing.
Did they also fix that little issue that you had with the cracking of the cement or something? Was it that coating?
Yeah, there was. They did that in the front of the house. When it snowed over here, the snowpocalypse a few years ago, it cracked the coating of my patio, and they smoothed it out. It was nice, dude. They did a fantastic job, man. So MCS General Contracting, Chris Leha and the fellas. Very, very nice.
Yeah, go ahead.
Get a lot of birthday wishes for your wife over there.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put those up. But go ahead and give Chris a call over here. Christopher Leha of MCS General Contracting. And the chat that you all are using right now is powered by MCS General Contracting. Make sure you give Chris a call at 210-774-9155.
While we're at it, let's remind you guys again to hit the like button.
Yeah.
Again, the like button, like and subscribe to our show. And more importantly than that, spread the word. We have a good base of listeners, viewers, followers, but spread it to your friends, man. Put it on your Facebook page, put it on your Twitter accounts. Just let people know that we're doing this show. That would be amazing. And you mentioned you have up there subscribe to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs. He's about to get busy, my man, because the Spurs season gets going. The 1 month from today, the regular season starts. 1 month from today, October 24th.
We're about, I think, a week away from preseason media day, that whole bit, And the cool thing about media day, right? Even I think a couple of days after that, I think it might be 2 days or the day after, the Spurs hopefully will announce the silver and black scrimmage. Mm-hmm. It's free. It's open to the public. It's a good, big how to do. Everybody comes out and watches these young Spurs go at it on the court. It's a silver and black team going at one another. But it's good to see that because a lot of the Spurs fans are going to get their first look at Stephon Castle, at maybe CP3.
Yeah.
Harrison Barnes on the court, A
little bit of everybody.
Yeah.
So let's get some love to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5.
Yeah, let's do it.
Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast, hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked On Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on Threads at JeffG10s5SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at JeffGSpursZone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow not only on Threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/@LockedOnSpurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked On Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
Yeah, so Jeff was mentioning yesterday that the Spurs added Jameer Nelson Jr. to the preseason roster. I think they have more than 20 players now on that roster. He played with the Spurs in the Summer League. Jameer Nelson, his dad, who played in the NBA, but Jameer Nelson Jr. played for a couple of teams, or a few teams rather, in college, finished his career as a star with TCU. So we'll see if he can make one of the squads, whether it be the NBA roster or the Austin League. There's an article by Jeff Garcia about Tim Duncan being in the stands watching his daughter play volleyball for Stanford. Man. That has got to be a proud moment for Tim Duncan to go out there.
How about that, man? He remember showing pictures of him with his kids when they had won that last championship, right? Like 2014. He's embracing his children. Big old moment, there. And look at how big they've gotten already. That's been an awful long time. 2014, man.
Right.
To now. Good for him, dude. He's out there supporting his daughter, man.
Tim Duncan living the best life, man. Living his best life with his wife, Vanessa Macias.
Very private individual, man. So it's good that he gets to do things on the down low, gets to at least go out there, not get bothered, enjoy watching his daughter just like a father.
And look at him wear the Stanford colors. I mean, he's not wearing his Wake Forest. What Wake Forest's colors? Like gold and
silver, or gold and black.
Golden black, yeah. So no Demon Deacons for him. He traded for the Stanford Cardinals color. But congratulations to his daughter. named Sydney.
Yeah.
Who was an all-state player back in here in Texas, and for him to go out there along with his wife to enjoy the game, amazing.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to also give love to Jeff Garcia here as well, because immediately following this episode of the Alamo City Sportscast, you can already see what I got cooking here for you guys. Right after we're done here, you can go ahead and watch the replay of the Area 210 podcast, the premiere episode that I recorded with Jeff Garcia here in studio. So you actually see him on camera. And we're going to be talking about how long until Wemby dominates the league. We're going to be talking a little bit about the Spurs, go down a little trip of nostalgia. Jeff's going to be sharing a really funny story about a night that he had out there in New York partying with some friends, and he blacked out. So if you all want to hear that, make sure you go and watch the replay of Area 210 podcast with Jeff Garcia immediately following this episode of the Alamo City Sportscast.
So let's get nostalgic about the Spurs.
Sure.
The regular season starts in a month, and we're going to get excited about watching Wemby on a daily basis. Ticket price is going to be through the roof because, if you go a StubHub, SeatGeek, very, very, very expensive.
Yeah, man. It is.
Preseason games are going to be the ones that you're going to be able to go to and be able to have an affordable price when it comes to it. That being said, nostalgia-wise, when it comes to the Spurs, Joe, you and I are roughly the same age, maybe 1 or 2 year difference. You were a Spurs fan back in the 80s, back in the 90s. Who is your favorite Spurs player of the 80s?
Of the 80s, I got to say it was the great George Gervin, man, the Iceman.
Nice.
I loved watching the Iceman, the finger roll and all that. He is great to see him out there on the court. I think as we started getting into like the late 80s, you started getting into the 90s. That was going to be the David Robinson era. So my favorite Spur was David Robinson at that time. But the other Spur that I did enjoy, even though it was a short stint here, the Worm. Dennis Rodman,
nice.
Man. And, even though they didn't get a lot of shine back then, too, I did like some of the greats. You had Willie Anderson. You had Terry Cummings. You had the great Frank Burkowski, who was an enforcer out there on the court. They would put him in for garbage minutes. They would say, you know what? I need 2 or 3 good fouls out of you, brother. Make them count. And they would just go lay waste to people, just practically beheading people out there on the court. He said, all right, you did your job. Good for you. Go sit down on the bench, But I like watching some of the older Spurs. Rod Strickland, Sean Elliott. It was great to see these Spurs when they were kind of forming their team and kind of almost, getting to the cusp. And then finally what happened? They got the great Tim Duncan, man.
Yeah.
And that changed our fortune.
So growing up, I was a Mike Mitchell fan.
Yeah.
I know Gervin was the star attraction and whatnot. Mike Mitchell, if he didn't have the drug issues, probably could have had a very, very, very good career. Alvin Robertson was my guy, man. He was the guy I had a poster of in my room. Alvin Robertson had a quadruple double. Still holds the record for most steals in an NBA season, and that record will never be broken, dude.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No one's going to get to the 300 and some odd range in 1 year. Willie Anderson was my guy. I like Johnny Dawkins. That one season back in 91 when we had Vinnie Johnson.
The microwave?
The microwave played for a decade in Detroit, was a part of the Bad Boys.
What a name.
He came
what a nickname.
Dude, that might actually be my most favorite name ever.
The microwave.
Dude, okay, think about what he did. You need some scoring? Bring him off the bench. Just have him light him up.
That's when the Spurs were cold as ice, dude. They could not hit a shot to save their lives, and they'd be putting in Vinny the microwave. Get your ass in there. And the brother would drop like three pointers in a row, like
get the yank. The guy was good. Was great in spurts.
5-6 minutes.
Give him 4 or 5 minutes of play. Let him expend all his energy and then get his ass out, dude. He did that with the Pistons, man.
Can you imagine back in the day if they would have had those personalized jerseys, right? Like they do now. Somebody goes into the arena, on the back it says the microwave.
That was a great nickname, man. I'm looking at the microwave stats. Could not shoot for three to save his life, man. A career 25% 3-point
streaky shooter, man.
Streaky, but here's the thing: from 2-pointers, the guy was money. He was absolute money from 2-pointers.
Yeah.
This was back in the day when you had the specialists that were the what were they called? Like the inside shooters, the mid-range shooters.
Yeah.
He was DeMar DeRozan, basically. Not DeMar DeRozan's a better player, but Vinny the Microwave Johnson was phenomenal from time to time.
Couldn't play a lick of defense to save his life, bro.
But if you needed 6 points in a minute, just give it to him, and he'll find a way.
He's heating up.
And then, bing, take him out.
Put that burrito there, man.
Yeah,
Heat it up in the microwave.
I was a big fan of, I hate to say it, Rod Strickland back in the day, because people still think of that behind the back, that no look pass that he did over the shoulder. I can see why Spurs fans get upset with him still.
I think he was the most underrated point guard that the Spurs had.
Yeah.
He doesn't get enough love, but when he was here, he was very good.
He was.
Very good.
He was. Terry Cummings, when Robinson was first getting into the league, I don't think that Spurs fans give Terry Cummings enough love, because Robinson needed to go to somebody, and I don't know if Terry Cummings was the guy that kind of mentored him at all.
Yeah.
But having Terry Cummings on the team early on in the early 90s was big.
Helped him, yeah.
Because he saw how a professional player played. I swear, if I have an interview with David Robinson again, because I've met David Robinson several times, I need to talk to him about Terry Cummings, if that was a thing.
And Terry Cummings was a prolific piano player.
Really?
Yeah, he could play the piano. I believe they had done like I don't know if it was, what's that show they used to do on, with the Rewind, right?
Yeah.
On KSAT. And I think way back when it first started, I think they did a story on Terry Cummings, and they were showing like he was an accomplished piano player. Like he had a studio and he was playing piano and everything, like playing the keyboard and everything.
Terry Cummings in Robinson's rookie season averaged 22.4 points per game, averaged 17.5 and 17.5 in back-to-back seasons in 90, 91, 91, 92. He was a very good player, man. We played with Milwaukee. He was averaging 22, 23 points per game. For his career, averaged 16 points per game, 16.5, 7.5 rebounds per game.
You know who else went to?
For a career, by the way, that spanned from 1982 to 2000.
Damn, that's a lot of years.
He played a lot of years. Terry Cummings is one of those Hall of Very Good players.
Very good.
Yeah, but he played for San Diego, the Clippers. He played for the Milwaukee Bucks, the Spurs, played for Milwaukee, Seattle, Philadelphia. He played for the Knicks. He played for Golden State. He was all over the place.
You know who else played for the Milwaukee Bucks? Frank Bukowski. When he left the San Antonio Spurs, he was over there. Yeah. And he got into a scrimmage too. I remember one time him and the Spurs got into it, and that was good. I like seeing those little dust-ups. But one Spur that doesn't get enough love, I feel, that was an enforcer, a dog out there, was the big dog himself, Antoine Carr.
Antoine Carr.
The blast from the past, man.
Dude, we're Cadillac Anderson. Talking about cars. Cadillac Anderson.
I remember that, man. I remember that. Cadillac Anderson.
Dude, Drew Show saying if Terry Cummings didn't get hurt in that pickup game in the summer, David at least gets to a finals on his own. Dude, did I ever tell you the story about the pickup game at Racquetball and Fitness, Joe?
Really?
This is one of my tall tales.
Oh, no.
This happened.
Man.
So my friends and I would go to Racquetball and Fitness, which back in the day was like, racquetball was a thing. Before pickleball, there was racquetball.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you'd go play racquetball. Racquetball and Fitness would have like 10 different courts there. And I was into it for a good while there.
Bro, you're just sweating your ass off in those rooms.
You're in a box.
That's it.
A glass enclosure.
Plexiglass box,
And so I would go play there with my friend Israel. We'd go hang out. We'd go to the one on Callahan and 410, right? And it's kind of, actually it's behind it. So it'd be Callahan and Babcock. And it's now a Gold's Gym. But it was a Racquetball and Fitness back in the day. And my friends and I, because we lived in the Holmes area, we'd go there late at night. It was a 24-hour gym. We'd go there like at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. And not only did they have racquetball there, but they had a full-on basketball court there that was really nice. Just one. It was like a NBA level court. It was really nice. You go there, play pickup ball, whatever.
Yeah.
2 in the morning, I'm there working out, just doing curls and just bench press, and in come all these NBA players. 2 in the morning, San Antonio, Callahan and Babcock, and half of them were Spurs.
I think that was the area that the nicer part of it, San Antonio back then, was a medical center.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they practiced in that area as well.
Yeah.
Half of them were Spurs coming on in. So you saw like Antonio Daniels come in. You saw Tim Duncan come in, and he had all these guys. And there's probably about 7 or 8 of them, right? And they went up to me and they were like, "You want to play ball?" To play 5-on-5 with them, right?
Yeah.
I said no.
Why?
I did not want to hurt Tim Duncan.
Oh, come on.
I didn't want
dude.
to like to be in the wrong place at the wrong time and Tim roll his ankle on my. I'm not saying that I was going to burn him. They were going to kick my ass. But like, I didn't want to hurt any of the Spurs players because I'm stupid.
Yeah.
Or I'm whatever. But I could play ball back in the day, but I was not nowhere near that level.
Yeah.
But I just didn't want to hurt anybody. Hand him a fist saying BS story. Dude, I ended up watching the games being played by people. They had like 3 or 4 guys that they picked up at the gym, and they were just playing ball with each other. Wasn't bad. Not a BS story. It happened.
Tall tale time.
Tony Onala saying, I remember as a kid that Bally's Fitness Center on Marbach was a meat market. Dude, you can't pick up a girl at a gym anymore, man. That's been, with all those cameras coming out, people saying that they don't. Dude, I have a girlfriend now. So, that is what it is.
They're giving you flack here.
I enjoy having a girlfriend because I hate being single.
Yeah.
The singles game these days, you can't pick up a girl at a gym. You can't pick up a girl at a restaurant. In real life, you can't. It's just so weird. Like, times have changed. Chris Gonzalez saying, I remember some stories about that racquetball gym. Dude, it was legendary. It was legendary. You'd see Spurs go work out over there. They were members of that gym. Mike was that dude, kept yelling, I'm open, but never had the ball pass him.
Oh,
dude, I got so scared. I didn't want to play.
Oh, of course. Swiss has to come in here and roast you. I like you, Swiss. We're the same style. Look at what he says. But I thought Mike had game when he was single.
Dude, game is game. And game, it's different game is what I'm saying. Is that dude, back in the day, Joe, dude, you go to a club, right? You go to a club. Why do you go to clubs? Because girls are there. They'd want to hook up. Or they'd want to exchange numbers, right? 20s, you go to a bar, right? What happened over the past 10 years is that everything moved online. And it's just a different thing. Who has house parties anymore, Joe? Remember back in the day? I'm going to throw a house party. Going to bring people over.
Man, you can't have house parties no more. You have house parties, you get it all shot up now, man.
Dude, the way that people used to meet girls has changed. It has changed. I have an attractive girlfriend, right? I have enough game to keep her, right? I enjoy her company, and we see each other every weekend, right? That's why she's in San Antonio. That's why I go to Houston. It's a little bit of a long distance thing, but it is what it is. I enjoy it. But the idea of going to like a gym and trying to hit up on a girl, the idea of going up to a girl at a restaurant these days, or trying to roll up on somebody at HEB, which you used to be able to do back in the day, they're not open to that crap anymore.
Yeah.
It's like everything got streamlined to dating apps, which, by the way, the best dating app that I saw this past year is Facebook. The Facebook dating app. It's free.
Look I like Swiss's new nickname for you. Mike's new nickname, El Mentiroso.
So did you see that photo I posted, Joe, on Twitter? My girl trying to get me to buy Rockets gear the other day because she's a Rockets fan.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. She says I'm a Spurs and Rockets fan.
No.
I'm calling crap on that, dude. She did not pull out the Spurs gear. She pulled out the Rockets gear and said, here, let's get this. We went to a Lids over there. That's where we were shopping at
the mall.
At the mall in the Woodlands. And the Lids over there had such great specials on NFL shirts and NBA shirts and sweatshirts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hoodies. Dude, I was just buying them left and right, man. And I was like, why are they on sale? Like, the NFL season's just starting. Why are all these Saints shirts on sale? These Texans shirts, and why are all these Rockets gear and all that on sale? I don't get it. All the hoodies were on sale. And it wasn't like 10% off. It was like clearance prices.
Yeah.
So I got a bunch of Saints shirts, man.
There you go. New gear. I was going to show this too, because it's kind of like some news that came out here. And check this out. I mean, a friend of ours, Josh Paredes, I know him.
Yeah.
Great guy, man. Great coverage for the San Antonio Spurs as well. He's putting that Matt Bonner on returning to Toronto to cover the Raptors.
Nice.
So he's leaving San Antonio Spurs to go back home and cover the Raptors. He's quoted saying, "I love the Spurs. I'll be a Spur for life. I played there for 10 years, worked there for 8. For 18 years, I was all in on the Spurs. I'm excited to have a new team to cover and for the challenge." So looks like he's going to be covering the Raptors now. I don't know if he's going to be part of the announcing team or what's going on, but Matt Bonner leaving San Antonio Spurs to go cover the Raptors, man.
I mean, good for him, man.
Yeah.
You can have multiple homes, dude.
Yeah, he's always going to be a Spur, but good for him. Maybe it's closer to home for him, because I know that he was doing his coverage here. He's a great guy, man. If you all have never met him in person, I have a story to share with you all. When my friend Taro was in town from Japan, and Taro was here, I think it was like maybe his 8th or 9th trip here to San Antonio. And I met him. We're hanging out. We went to the game and everything. And he tells me, after, like, we're walking down the hallway, and he breaks out a Matt Bonner card, right? And he goes, "Joe, I would love to get my card signed by Matt Bonner. If we ever see him, let me know so I can get my card signed by him." And as soon as Taro tells me that, we're coming out, walking around the concourse. And who do we see doing the Spurs post-game show? Matt Bonner. So I told Taro, you know what? Let's go ahead and stand right here, and then the usher comes in. "Well, what are y'all doing?" I said, "Oh, we're just hanging out here with everybody else." Said my friend he's from Japan. He would love to get his card autographed by Matt Bonner. If you could relay that information to him, if he could possibly do that, be great. "Oh, no, we don't do that here." Being rude as hell. Just guy's being a dick. All right, cool, whatever. So I tell Taro, "Don't worry, I got you, man." So we're there right behind, the scenes. And as soon as they're done broadcasting, I go, "Hey, Matt Bonner, I got your #1 fan here from Japan." And he turns around, he goes, "Hey, what's up?" And sure enough, Taro's wearing a Matt Bonner jersey.
Nice.
Turns around, he comes up to us, and the usher's just looking at us. Matt Bonner takes, that little, I guess the barrier that they have.
Yeah.
And he kind of pulls it out. He comes up there and he takes pictures with us, autographs Taro's jersey, talks to us for a little bit. And that usher, man, he's just looking at us and he's just pissed as can be, and Matt Bonner was great, dude. So that's my encounter with him. Great guy.
Sam Salinas reaches out to us on our YouTube stream saying, "What? Joe has tall tails?"
It's not really a tall tale. It's not like, "Oh, I played basketball with him." No, I met the guy.
I never said I played basketball with Tim Duncan and the guys. What did I say? I was asked and I got scared off my ass about it and I didn't do it. Okay. Yeah. The tall tale is, man, I played with him and I hit a bucket. That's a tall tale. I was like, no, I'm okay. I'm just going to keep doing curls. Let's get an entertainment bump going.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that.
All right, so TMZ just released a story within the past 20 minutes, and I'm confused by the headline. Jerry Jones talking about an 8.5-inch dick on the Cowboys team.
What?
And it somehow involves superstar Jamie Foxx. So I was going through this. Apparently there's video of Jerry Jones talking to the famous actor, comedian, and singer, talking about the size of one of his players on the Cowboys' his penis. And apparently there's video about it.
Jerry on demon time, man.
Jerry going demon time on one of his players. And apparently there's video. And the video goes on to say the guy is 5'9.5", 210. He runs a 4.4, has 9 foot 3 inch hands, and an 8.5-inch dick.
God.
Who is he talking about here? 5'9" is on this. Is it Deuce Vaughn? What is he talking about?
Dude. What's Jerry doing looking, man?
And what's he doing knowing that he's on video talking about this? And Jamie Foxx is like, the hell did I turn this off?
Look at him, man. Jamie Foxx is like, why are you talking about another man's meat, man? For real, bro. Come on.
Mitchell going thick 6 or like more like slanging 8. Look at Jamie Foxx's reaction.
What the hell? This old man lost his mind. Freaking Jerry, dude.
Story on TMZsports.com. By the way, someone mentioned to me on Twitter yesterday that the singer Neo.
Yeah, I remember that. But you know what? I was going to share this with you real quick since we're on Jerry, right? Look at this real quick. John Machota, right? I follow him on the X.
From The Athletic.
Yeah. So he's putting Cowboys owner Jerry Jones was on 105.3 The Fan, right, yesterday. And he put with similar comments about the roster as what he shared after Sunday's game. Jerry Jones is standing, doubling down. He says, I like where we're at all positions.
Yeah.
Come on, Jerry. You're full of it, man.
I like Neo, dude. And Jerry Jones is just saying that because he's responsible for this team. And it's also a deflection. Let's talk about Neo. Neo's had several hits. I like that one he did with Pitbull back in the day. So there's a video that got posted online, and I was alerted to. I think it was Tim Gonzalez who sent it out to me about Neo being yelled at by his girl. The girl was videotaping him having an argument with her, and she was saying, "Go back to your freak offs," and that's kind of in reference to P. Diddy. Because those parties that he's allegedly had, that the feds have video of where he drugged women, he hired male prostitutes to have days-long orgies. They were called freak-offs. And the question becomes, what's the collateral damage that's going to be done to other people? And they're making a list of people that they think would have be implicated in taking part of these.
Yeah,
Neo being one of them. Not saying that he did. But I'm saying that there's a lot of people who say that Neo might be implicated along with a lot of other people. Jay-Z, potentially. And this whole Diddy thing is not going to go away because once it goes to trial and the videos get released or I don't know if the media will get a chance to look at them.
They will.
Or whatever the case may be. You're going to see some celebrities there. This is like Epstein part 2.
Oh, dude. But they have actual like video footage, they said, on like, they got information from the hard drives of the computers that were seized and all that. They have hard evidence of what was going on at these parties, right? And the people that were attending them.
Right.
And it's been rumored that the Kardashians were frequenting these parties, these freakouts.
Right.
Along with Justin Bieber and some of these other celebrities.
Well, so the whole thing I heard about Justin Bieber was that Bieber may have been assaulted at one of these places as a teenager.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why he kind of got effed up. That it might have been because of all this. There's a lot going on when it comes to this. This story is not going to go away. This is going to be a 10-part series on Netflix 2 or 3 years from now. Everything from did Diddy have a role in Biggie's death? Tupac. Did Diddy have a role in all of these things? Who are the celebrities that were there at these orgies? Were minors involved? Is it on tape? Who did he blackmail? Whose careers did he end? What about the death of his wife? Or it wasn't his wife. It was a longtime girlfriend that he had a few kids with.
Look at this. And this is true. JHNSB is saying every celeb is wiping their Twitter and Instagram.
One of them being Usher.
Yep. Oh, he was hacked.
Usher said he was hacked.
Come on.
Kim Kardashian, doing the same thing.
Like those videos, once a video or a picture hits the internet, it's there forever, dude.
The white parties that he had were legendary. That was up in New York. What's it called over there? The ritzy beach area there, just outside of
the Hamptons.
The Hamptons.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. It wasn't the white parties. It was the freak offs. Two completely different things. So I saw a list of the top 30 people who could be implicated.
Yeah.
I don't want to go through them all because it's like, and they said like at the top of the list are those who they think most definitely took part. I saw a lot of big names out there, Joe. And they're talking about people who might have been assaulted who didn't even know. And they're saying some people might have taken part, not because they wanted to, because they got drugged and raped.
Yeah.
Big
got
names.
Bill Cosby.
Big names out there, man. Big names. Speaking of creepy things, I've been watching that Melendres brothers. I guess you could say it's a mini series on Netflix. I'm halfway through it. Pretty good, man. It's pretty good. They apparently one of the Melendres brothers was really into Milli Vanilli.
Oh God, dude.
So, have you watched any of that, or are you just not interested at all?
Not my thing, dude. I don't watch any of that stuff. Usually, if I'm not like on the weekends, right, free time and stuff like that, I'm doing things around the house, in the backyard, yard work, whatever, maintaining the property back here. But the thing is, beyond that, I'm busy breaking down the show or catching up with episodes. And in my spare time, when I'm watching videos, it's like mindless TV. Like I'm watching sports, fighting, or I'm just watching a movie with the wife or something.
Yeah.
I don't really watch documentaries too much, but when I do, it's kind of like that one that was on CBS about the music. During the days of the LimeWire,
right,
Napster, and all that. They have a really good one.
You like the educational stuff?
Yeah, that one was a really good one.
You don't like the sensational stuff?
Yeah, no.
Because beyond that, beyond the Melendres brothers thing, which by the way, a lot of pushback is being made by the family and by the brothers themselves. Basically, for those who don't remember, Lyle and Eric Melendres were convicted of killing their parents because their parents had threatened to take them out of their will.
Yeah, and they even have pictures of them on courtside at a baseball game,
a basketball game. They're the Lakers games. So they were a strange pair, and then also the Kardashians are kind of in the mix a little bit because you had Robert Kardashian representing them. This all happened in Beverly Hills. This was before OJ. This happened in 1989, man. I was 12 years old when this happened. And there was a lot going on when it came to the lifestyle that they had, the entitlement they had. They thought they were stars when really they were just simply rich.
Yeah.
And it was about the fact that police couldn't pin it on anybody because they had an alibi. They were at the movies, right?
Yeah.
And, it's one of those things where they came back home and they said, oh, my God, we found our parents murdered. And eventually police turned around and said, no, you guys are the ones who did it. And I'm not going to give away the story as to how they figured that out.
Yeah.
But I'm halfway through the documentary. I remember this whole thing. The other documentary that's coming out, or movie, if you will, is about Vince McMahon.
Oh, yeah.
And Vince McMahon yesterday was playing Damage Control, saying that there's a difference between Vince McMahon, the person, and Vince McMahon, the character. And people are like, nah, dog, that's not it, man.
They were one and the same, bro.
That's just you.
One and the same, yep. That documentary that's going to be hitting Netflix here, man, that's going to just obliterate him.
That comes out this week, if I'm not mistaken.
And you're talking about, Bret the Hitman Hart talking about Vince McMahon and what an ass he was.
It's released tomorrow.
That is going to just obliterate the McMahon legacy. As far as, him being known as the guy to take the WWE into where it is now, because he bought it way back in its infancy and brought it to greatness. There's no denying that. But the road there and what he did, oh, man, this guy's scum.
He is. Absolute scum. I was taking a look at something the other day that I found to be interesting. And we could kind of wrap up the show with this.
Yeah.
Did you know that this past week was the 30-year... Actually, no. It's coming up on the 30-year anniversary of the Shawshank Redemption.
Wow.
So
that's an old movie then, dude.
So we'll go to that on the anniversary date because it's the release date was October 14th of 1994. So it's coming up. So we'll talk about that soon. But there was a time, Joe, where the top 5 movies in the United States at the same time, the same weekend. Imagine this, Joe. We were 17 years old.
Jeez.
I was 17. You were maybe 18 or 19.
Yeah.
Go to Westlakes.
I remember that.
And the 3 most popular movies there, or 3 of the 5, were Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump, and Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
Dude. Was that the golden age of movies? The mid-90s? Did we not know this at the time?
Don't think we knew it at the time, but there were a lot of bangers that were released in the 90s, man.
Because right now, they don't go head-to-head against each other right now, right?
Nah.
Last year, you had Barbie and Oppenheimer going at each other, right? And they were the 2 biggest movies the entire year. right now, all these movies come out, like, okay, you get to be number one for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then you get to be number one Beetlejuice is coming out. We're not going to go up against Beetlejuice.
Yeah, you know what it is now? After COVID, a lot of those movies in the movie houses now, they're wanting to make money because a lot of them lost a lot of money because a lot of theaters were closed, right? So the mindset has changed now. Now they don't go at each other anymore. They try to give each other a buffer because everybody wants to make their money.
Right.
So at different times now.
1994, 30 years ago.
Wow.
Here are the top 10 movies. Dude, I'm going down the list of the top 25 movies of that year. Dude, look at all these movies that came out that year. Number one movie was The Lion King. Forrest Gump was 2. True Lies 3. The Santa Claus 4. Flintstones 5. Clear and Present Danger 6. Speed was 7. The Mask was 8. Mrs. Doubtfire 9. They had 9 movies make over $100 million. Number 10 was Interview with the Vampire. 11 was Maverick.
Jeez.
Schindler's List. The Client. Philadelphia, which won all these Oscars, was 14. Stargate. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Star Trek. Pulp Fiction was 19. Grumpy Old Men, The Specialist. Dumb and Dumber. Naked Gun 33 1/3. The Crow. Pelican Brief. Natural Born Killers.
It's crazy, dude.
Dude, Mighty Ducks. Beverly Hills Cop 3. Tombstone.
Man.
Major League 2. Dude, this was just Wyatt Earp came out that year.
Major League 2 was pretty funny, dude.
Blue Chips came out that year.
Oh, man. That's the one with Shaq and Penny.
Yeah. Reality Bites came out that year.
Winona Ryder. Yeah. Ethan Hawke.
The Cowboy Way, which was with Woody Harrelson.
Oh, yeah.
Came out
I remember that.
8 Seconds with the guy from Tyler. What was the guy's name from 90210? The one who passed away, Luke Perry.
Luke Perry, yeah.
Dude, that was such a great year for movies, man.
Yeah. And we got to go ahead and give you some love, too.
Oh, yeah. Dude, change the photo.
Let's zoom in on it.
Change the photo. That was 23 pounds ago, dude. Change the photo. My name is Mike Jimenez, and I do financial planning. In fact, they're calling me right now. I'm getting a phone call right now from the annuity center right now. So I do investments. I do insurances, things like that. I manage about, 15 million on the retirement side. I supervise about 25 million on the insurance side. Reach out if you have questions about, old 401ks, IRAs. If you're starting something, need to roll into something, life insurance, disability, reach out to me, 210-508-0369, 210-508-0369. Joe, come on, man. Get me a skinnier pic.
Telling you, send me a better picture and I'll put it on.
Midtown saying don't do it. JHNSB says, bless Mike for not injuring Tim Duncan. Man, you see, I'm responsible. I should get 5 rings. I should get 5. It was before they had won the. Actually, no, it was right around the time 99. Yeah, it was around there.
Look at that. Tony Ornelas says, don't change the picture. They like to smile.
Shoot. 210-508-0369. We'll be back tomorrow. Is today? Tuesday? Yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday already.
2 days away from Cowboys taking the field.
God, dude. If you talk about a must win, this is it, dude.
You know what? We've been talking about a get together. Watch the game someplace.
Yeah.
You work nights though.
I work nights, man. That's the only thing. I can't join you boys until after 9.
Very nice. Everyone have a fantastic day. We'll be back tomorrow. Like and subscribe. Hit the like button on the way out. Y'all take care.